I'm going to be honest. I really want to get my hands on your business, and not in the way that might sound, but I do want to help. Not in a detached, listen to my podcast and hopefully you'll get some golden nuggets out of it way. I want us to work together. I want to be involved. And there are some of my programs and packages that allow us to work in that way together to really align your strategy, your actions, and your goals. So if you know that now is the time to get stuck into your business strategy, to get mentorship, support, and hand-holding, as well as practical advice and feedback, I would love for us to explore how we might be able to do that together. Whether it's joining my takeoff program to get you to the point where you are attracting leads and making sales more consistently, whether it's through the accelerator to help you really narrow in on where your leverage points are to scale your business beyond 6 figures and further, or whether it's that high touch, high connection, one-on-one experience of working together as a VIP. I invite you to send an email to me at support@tashcorbin.com. Tell me what your goals are, tell me what you need help with, and let's look at how we might be able to work together. I would love to provide the mentorship, guidance, feedback, and advice that you need to know exactly where you need to focus right now to get it implemented and done and to get your business taking off and scaling. There's no obligation and there's no hard selling. I genuinely just want to make sure that I'm across what's going on for you and that you know what the options are for us to potentially be working together. And of course, if I have free resources that might be able to support you, I will point you in the direction of those as well. So get in touch, send that email to support@tashcorbin.com, and I really look forward to hearing from you. Have you ever had one of those statements that just sticks with you for an extended period of time and it keeps popping back into your brain? Well, that is exactly what has happened for me ever since our Lunar New Year reading from Kerry Rowett. And one of the things that Kerry said in her reading, which we'll link in the show notes of today's episode, is take your time. It was one of the 3 kind of big messages that came forward for us. And that phrase, take your time, has been on my mind over and over again the last couple of weeks. And ever since we did that reading, it has popped in at least once a week as a little intuitive nudge, a little reminder, and it has actually opened up a new conversation that I wanted to have with you. So that is exactly what we are doing in this episode of the Heart-Centered Business Podcast. This is episode number 524, which means you can find all the relevant links and the show notes for today's episode over at tashcorbin.com/524. And I've got a little free resource I want to share with you, and we'll also have the link to Kerry's initial reading for you there as well, which is still relevant even if you didn't listen to it or you've already listened to it at the Lunar New Year. It's still relevant to re-listen to it throughout the year. So just wanted to share that with you before we dive into this one, but let's do it. Hello, I'm Tash Corbin, a business strategist and mentor based on the Sunshine Coast in Australia. The mission of this podcast is to help heart-centered entrepreneurs to make more money, and in doing so, change the world for the better. This podcast was recorded on the lands of the Gubbi Gubbi and Jinnabara people. Always was, always will be Aboriginal land. Okay, so just a little recap. I would definitely encourage you to re-listen to the full reading from Kerry because there were so many beautiful insights and we really got into some tangible, practical ways to implement the reading as well when we talked it through together. So I do recommend that you check the whole thing out. But just for the sake of being able to go through today's conversation, a quick refresher that in Kerry's reading, the 3 principles that came out were, number 1, take your time. Number 2, stay in your lane. And number 3, trust the process. And number 1, take your time, has been on my brain a lot ever since that reading, and particularly in the last 2 weeks. It almost feels like intuitively, I feel like our conversation about take your time is not yet complete. And so it has just kept popping into my brain with new angles, new ways to discuss it and talk about it. In the reading itself, part of the conversation was around, in order to take your time, you need to shut out the noise. And we focused on that component of take your time quite a lot in the reading episode. And I think at the time it was definitely very important. I think it's still very critical for us to, in order to take our time back, we need to shut out so much of the distractions, so much of the noise that is coming at us, algorithms, social media, the news cycle. There's a lot of people who are trying to compete for our attention right now. And so in order to kind of take your time and reclaim your time, you do need to boundary up your attention span and drown out that noise, right? Shut it out. We don't need to be listening to all of that all the time. And particularly when it comes to being a business owner and being part of this online space and in this fire horse year with everything that is coming together in the way that it is coming together, it was such a powerful conversation for us to have at the time about shutting out the noise. But I also think that there are so many other layers to the phrase take your time that we didn't get to explore. And I'm feeling drawn to lead the exploration of those. Now, the way that it is coming to me is a different word out of the 3 is being emphasized each time. So sometimes it will be take your time. Really, you need to claim your time. No one is going to give you time. You need to take it, right? So there's this real sense of boundaries around your time and standing up for yourself and standing up for what you want to invest your time in and standing up for what you want to be doing in your business, what you want to dedicate your attention to, and that it has this real powerful energy when it starts with this strong emphasis on take. Take your time. Take it. Take your time. It's your time. I think as well, when there's the emphasis on take your time, it has this real lean in, and it's almost like a reassurance that it's going to be worth it, that this is the right thing to put your time and energy into. Then if we focus on it's take your time. And that is like really powerful to think about, this is your time. This is your time on this planet. In the grand scheme of things, this is a very short period of time. This is your opportunity as this person on this planet right now. It's that whole, you have one life. Why would you give the power of that away? And if it is your time, why do you have the very last claim to it? I talk about this quite a lot in my planning group, where your needs, your tasks, your goals, your focus, your priorities are always so far behind everyone else's. Are you structuring your day? Are you structuring your week and your month through the lens of my needs come first, this is my time? Or are you structuring it through the lens of I'll have the scraps that are left over? And that can be reflected in even just the way you structure your morning. Do you start your day picking up social media and giving your time to the algorithms? Do you start your morning by opening up your emails and prioritizing client requests first, other people's needs first? Or do you start your day by sitting down, getting clear on what is a priority for you today and doing those things first? It's your time. You are in charge. You get to decide whether you want to give that time to someone else by default, or if you want to design the way that you structure your day, your week, your month through the lens of I'm fitting my own mask first. Do you want to create structure around yourself and boundaries so that you can be a very generous, very giving person because you've looked after your own needs first? When I talk to business owners who specialize in supporting mums or supporting women with self-care or supporting people who are carers, that is one of the biggest things that they need to overcome, is reminding their clients and really collecting evidence with their clients that when they look after and nurture their own needs first, they do a better job of looking after everyone else. They actually role model powerful and effective boundaries and really self-prioritize self-care and nourishment. And that is a win-win for everyone. So when I say take your time, how do you feel about your time? Where in your day do you feel like your time is not your time? Where do you feel like you are at the behest of everyone else, that someone or something else is taking your time? And how can you take it back? And then the final part is when you say it with time accented, it's take your time. And time is our most precious resource. And there's two angles of time that we can interrogate. There is your time each day, yeah? So take your time today, your time during the day. Take your time at doing this that you're focused on today. We also know that when you actually focus on something and commit time to doing it and you have that spaciousness to do it properly, it takes less time, right? So we're also far more effective at using our time when we are boundaried, when we are clear, when we are focused, when we are nourished, when we are well rested. But also, it's our most precious resource in that kind of circle back to the passage of time. And so this year, are you treating your time with the respect that it commands, with the focus that will allow you to be mindful and use this time accordingly? Or are you going to get to October and say, where did the year go? And is that the experience you want to have once again? So I'm not recording this podcast episode because I have some big time thing that I need to share with you, that I have some magical solution here. I actually think that I've been nudged to record this podcast episode and reinitiate this conversation about time because we're at the end of quarter one. We are 1/4 of a way through the year. And if you are feeling like, Where did it go? It's gotten away from me. The risk is if you don't do something differently, you're going to continue to experience that same feeling. And you are going to continue to look back and realize that once again, you haven't taken your time. And what I am here to do is to encourage you to reflect on this and to turn inward. Now, which angle of those 3 emphasis points feels the most pertinent to you? Might be different. One of them might have brought up more than another. And what are you actually going to do about it? That is the thing that I really want to ask you to consider through this podcast episode. If you would like a journaling resource to help prompt you to actually explore this in a bit more depth and to do that turning inward, I have a heart shield template that it just sits on my website. It's been there for years and I refer a lot of clients to it. It's a journaling exercise that you do and it's got 3 separate stages. One is getting clear on what you don't want. One is getting clear on how you want to feel. And then the final step is, what are you going to do? And I really feel like it is the perfect end to this podcast episode to sit down and do a heart shield and go and fill that in. So I'll pop the link to the heart shield with the show notes of today's episode, tashcorbin.com/524. And I really encourage you, especially if you feel like, wow, we're at the end of quarter 1. How did that happen? Where did it go? I really encourage you in the next few days to find the time, take your time, journal about this using that heart shield process. It's not even an opt-in. You just go and grab it. And perhaps even re-listen to the reading with Kerry. And if nothing else, being able to confidently and clearly answer the question, so what am I going to do about it? Because ultimately, no one is going to sort this out for you. And you have far more power than you're likely giving yourself credit for or you're likely recognizing. And I know for myself that that is one of the most powerful outcomes for me of any kind of journaling or self-reflection is it invariably ends up back at, well, the power's in my hands. So what am I going to do about this? And I hope that that is a powerful and empowering experience for you. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode. Until next time, I cannot wait to see you shine. Bye for now.